So today I am with Tomer, CEO of Addressable. Thank you so much for being at Input Boost. How are you today?
Hi, thank you so much. Wonderful day, great weather,
Yeah.
great conference.
So let's dive in. Can you please introduce Addressable?
Yes, so I'm Tomer, the co-founder and CEO of Addressable. Addressable is a user intelligence company. We created profiles on everybody on chain, 1.8 billion wallets. We profile by the user, so each user has a few wallets that are connected together. A cluster of wallets, everybody has a few, or most of the people. And then what we do, we match those wallets to Twitter IDs or Reddit IDs or web IDs so that we could actually create an off-chain and on-chain data set on every user. And that makes the possibility to do very well-targeted advertising, fraud detection to find out who's faking it, who's having 10,000 wallets from the same machine. So fraud detection, targeted advertising, and different types of attribution that are only possible because we connect the on-chain and the off-chain world in a very accurate way.
Right. Addressable called time at times the most valuable assets for growth teams. Can you share the moment or story when you realized that connecting off-chain data to the on-chain data was the real breakthrough?
Yes, so our market research in crypto started in 2022. We all worked in different companies that do blockchain stuff, either cybersecurity for blockchain companies or different types of IP protection using blockchains. But in 2022, when my two co-founders and myself decided to found this company, we started to research what's the most painful problem for businesses in the space. And the painful problems are the anonymity of their users. So it goes both ways. You don't have the good guys, the people who buy in your protocol or your exchange or your wallet, the people who actually do transactions that are real. You don't have any connection with them. You cannot re-engage with them. You cannot really build a relationship with them. They're transactional, then going away because of the anonymity of the blockchain. And the other part is the scams, the frauds. All the people that are coming in with a new wallet just to get some incentives and airdrop different types of hacking and just incentive harvesting and farming. And all of that is also built on anonymity. It can be a new person again and again and again,
yes,
and never get caught. And these types of problems are all based on anonymity. So the basic pain of every business in this space is no real connection or relationship with the users. And what we decided to do back in 2022 is to build the biggest user database in blockchain that actually connects on-chain data with some off-chain data so that you can see the real user attributes, user activity, different types of real-life signals that maintain a very, very high accuracy profile of whether it's a real person, whether it's a new person in the blockchain or a scammer that is doing something for the hundreds or thousands time. And this breakthrough on that market research is applicable today. This pain is never gone. The more the blockchain ecosystem is growing and growing, people are facing the same pains, the DeFi protocols and the games and even the exchanges. They're all facing this problem when the ecosystem is growing bigger, the stablecoin issuers. The ecosystem is growing bigger, they know nothing about the users, and they're willing to know, they're craving to know much more, and this is where we come to help.
I see. Reddit has always been a goldmine for authentic Web3 users, but also a pain to manage. What's the story behind finally cracking this channel inside Addressable?
So as you know, Reddit is a very authentic platform for people to exchange ideas, and the trading community on Reddit is huge. It's millions of people, and they're all looking for alpha together, trading stocks, trading options, trading different types of crypto, and they're all doing that in a very vibrant and wonderful communities. Now, Reddit ads have been introduced not long ago, a few years ago, and it's a very young ad network, but they are probably one of the most effective places to advertise for traders, for liquidity providers, for any type of token alpha seekers, because the amount of people that is seeking investments in Reddit is so big. When we integrated with the Reddit APIs and the Reddit ad network, we had to actually do the same thing we did on Twitter and on the open web, which is to build the user database on Reddit, connect it with the wallet database that we have, and maintain this very close connection between the Reddit communities and the on-chain communities so that we can really find the right people for every project, find the right targeting audience for every DeFi platform, for every exchange, for every wallet, and it works very well. One thing you have to know about advertising is the more advertising is mature in a network like in Facebook, the more people ignore it. So the best places to advertise are new places with ads. So there's a new place with ads, you pay attention much more. So Reddit is a place where people pay attention much more. It's still new, not a lot of years in the making, and the ads are still scarce. It makes the effectivity of these ads very high.
Got it. On-chain targeting on Reddit feels like a breakthrough. What kind of new possibilities does this unlock for growth teams that didn't exist before? I mean, we just touched upon that, but
yeah, I think I can add this layer of why to use ads at all, and specifically Reddit ads or Twitter ads. And there are two reasons to use ads. One, you want to build a community. So your project is still pre-TGE or pre-product market fit or just starting to move. You want to build a community, to build the awareness around your project, around the promise, the things that you're promising and the launch next year. And this type of awareness is crucial, and usually it's unmeasurable. A lot of people just, will spend a lot of money on KOLs and events in conferences and different types of very expensive media and PRs just to get attention of everybody, because it's indistinguishable who's a relevant community member that will be a user in the future and who's just a fan that will never, they love new things, but they will never be a real user. And what you see on Reddit, on Twitter, and with Addressable also on other platforms of advertising, is if you build your community from those top potential users, people with money in their wallet, people that have actual real track record of transacting with protocols like your own protocol, or with blockchains like your own blockchain, or with exchanges like your own exchange. This type of community building is not brand awareness anymore in a very blind way that people do it. It's very accurate community building with the right people, the right awareness, that everybody's coming in to be your fan, will participate in your TGE, will start using your platform when it's available, will download your app, and so on. So the awareness is the part that you can be very accurate in Reddit, in Twitter, and of course in the open web and in crypto websites. The next phase is when you're launching your project, and when you're launching your app or your protocol, you want people to start transacting. And what you find on Reddit, on Twitter, is the people that are actually trading. You find all the traders there. This is where they hang out with other people. They share alpha. They listen to people who are they copy trading some other people. And what we do there is when it's coming to really using your platform, depositing money, really transacting and becoming an active user, you really see how effective it is in performance marketing, which is the next phase. So first phase is awareness, right. And there's performance marketing, which means you want a return on investment. You add money, you want to see revenue, and you want the revenue to be much higher than the spend on ads, the return on investment to be ROAS positive. And this is where we also play a very big performance game with the Reddit ads, Twitter ads, programmatic ads. We make it profitable. And we can do this because we match on-chain data, the revenue generating machine, with the off-chain data, how much you spent, how many people came from each channel, and we do this accurately.
I see. And the one source of truth dashboard sounds simple, but it does solve a very big headache. How do you imagine this changing the day-to-day life of a growth marketer?
So we work with all the major exchanges, major DeFi protocols, and what you'll be surprised to know that even the biggest projects, our largest exchanges or DeFi platforms that have hundreds of thousands of daily users or billions of monthly users, sometimes have no idea what brought in the best users, what works well for them. And they have a huge blind spot on, and it's not only just what brings in the best users, but it's per country, what brings in the best users in France, what KOLs brought them, what ad campaigns brought them. And the best users in Singapore, it's completely different. They act on different signals. They work with different types of attention. So you really want to see per country what drives in the most valuable users to your platform so you can double down on that channel.
Yeah.
And for every country, it's different. Sometimes it's PR and KOLs and ads and different types of quests, different types of conferences and meetups, different. And every country is different. And a lot of this data does not exist in the blockchain world. You see a lot of wallets. These are my VIPs in my protocol or my blockchain, and I have no idea how to get more of those. And this is what we do. This is the source of truth. Usually it comes to two things: the country and the channel that brought them in.
I see. And last but not least, if you look at the bigger picture, how do these updates move Addressable closer to its vision of being the essential growth engine for Web3?
So when we are looking forward, we see three major things we want to crack. One, we want to add different types of marketing channels to our portfolio of targeted media channels. So right now we do Twitter ads, Reddit ads, but we want to add also different types of targeted media in other channels. And we want to add different types of uniquely crypto-oriented media, like in-wallet advertising, connecting to different supplies of ad networks that are out there right now, and we're now working on these connections. So we don't have supply of our own. We don't have our own ad network. We're just connecting to other ad networks that enable targeting. If they enable targeting, we're there. And the next part is to crack the blockchain dynamics of multiple blockchains. What you see today is that there are so many blockchains everywhere, and they're popping up every week. So the next thing to crack is the build your own blockchain, bring your own blockchain. How to make any blockchain that wants attribution be able to connect to our APIs so that they can get their own blockchain attributable easily and with no hassle, and make our attribution support their blockchain easily with no hassle. So instead of our developers adding more and more blockchains, make their life easier by just plugging in their blockchain and having it operational.
Hey, very exciting.
Yes, and the third thing is the bad guy detection. So we detect all the fraudsters, and we label wallets that are just doing just patterns of fraud or patterns of of airdrop farming or in different types of activities. And this bad guy detection is actually in high demand today. People want us in their website or in their protocol or in their Twitter account just to see who are the fraudsters, and to give them a list all the time of people that are from these areas that we identify, so they know how to interact with them. And we're just expanding the product to these areas that they have a fraud radar that is super easy to use and to take bulk actions with these people.
Okay. Thank you so much, Tamar. It was a pleasure to hear more about Addressable, and enjoy the rest of the conference.
Thank you, and have a wonderful day.
Have a great one.